Alright. Well, I'm going to just wait for y'all to ask. This is a Ask Me Anything live, so whatever y'all want to know. Or if I know, y'all can know. Hello, everyone. Love you. So what are we doing here? It's a live seminar. Ask me anything. Pretty much an open book right now. What do you want to ask me? Anything? Spells? You have to meditate. You have to ask, for the spell to be cut. You gotta remember that your brain controls everything that you do. We are in third density, and third density is the density of creation. When you move up density, which is the fourth density, you move into the heart. This is the density of love. You move up density, you go to the density of the throat chakra. This is the density of truth. Move up density, you go to the third eye. This is the density of love and light. Move up density, you go to the density of the crown chakra, which is light. So dark entities can only go up to 6th density. So in order to get rid of these spells or whatever, you have to actually meditate and ask about it, and you have to be very specific when you meditate. Your brain is very creative, so you can create anything you want with your brain. You just have to understand that there's a cause and effect that takes place, and here on the lower third density, those cause and effects have time ripples, and they take time to formulate into your reality. Cut the cord. Same way, you gotta cut the cord. Meditation. So you have to command these things, these certain chords, or, if there's someone that you're with or you have sexual relations with, you guys gain a sexual, but you guys gain a cord. And this cord is an energetic cord, and this cord lasts forever. And it's a cord that's bonded to your root chakra. Your root chakra is what bonds you to the other person when you guys have sexual relations is the root chakra. So in order to cut that cord, you're going to have to meditate on it and visualize the cord being cut. Then you're going to have to actually heal the root chakra, stop it from spinning, reverse the spinning in the opposite direction, stop it from spinning, put the energy in there that you wanted in there. What's going on, sis? How you doing? Miss Sophia, put the energy that you want back in there, respin the chakra, and have the vortex of energy bring in what you want to bring in and cut the cord. Let me see. Anyone else ask anything here? We had a cord cutter here. And which destiny are dark spells created? Density? Dark spells are created all the way up to 6th density because dark beings can go all the way up to 6th density. Now, just because 6th density may seem like a low number, 6th density dark beings are extremely powerful. You gotta understand that just on 4th density alone, your thoughts manifest instantaneously. So you gotta understand that, just because the density of just because a being is 6th density doesn't mean that it's weak. It's extremely powerful. You must understand this. And the only reason why dark beings can't go past 6th density is because past 6th density, 7th density is only light. And dark beings cannot feed off of light. They can feed off of other different energies, but they can't feed off of light. What's the person curses you? With your same blood. Blood doesn't matter. I'm eating a plum. By the way, I love plums. I eat plums every day. This is my fasting food right here. Or as brother, I don't know if he's still in here. Let me look for him. Where is he? Orville Douglas got me on this fruit feast where we eat all, watery fruits for the month of July. So my go-to fruit all the way around is either plum, mango, or grapes. I mean, I just love those fruits. Let me see here where we at. Person that cursing you is of the same blood. It doesn't matter what blood they are. Blood does not matter. Blood is physical, and you're not physical. You're not the body. You have the body, and so the body is actually material. It's materialistic. So you are the soul that's inside of the body. So the soul may not be family. The body is family. The blood is family. So it doesn't matter if they're family or not. As far as blood. How you doing, brother? Mr. Boone Me? Peace. Can you get regular clean, fasting, eating clean, oral health? Oral health. Yes and no. Oral health is a little bit different than all the other health because your teeth are a little bit different than, all the other stuff that you got going on inside of your body. Now, your gut and all of that you can fix with eating clean and stuff like that, but you got to understand oral health, what damages your health orally is not sugar, it's acid. And so acid damages everything inside of your mouth. So probably the best thing for you to do for oral health is to oil pull with coconut oil. You take a teaspoon of coconut oil, put it in your mouth, and you gargle with it, wish it around for about 15-20 minutes, and then you spit it into the toilet, not into the sink. It'll clog up your sink because the coconut oil will get hard as it stays in the air. Also, the coconut oil turns poisonous as it's in your mouth because it's pulling all the toxins out. Explain sixth density. Can't really explain it. Sixth density is love and light. So it's right here. Your chakras are all densities. So right here is love and light, a combination of love and light. So I can't really explain it to you. It's very difficult to explain. To be something that you would actually be able to understand and relate to something. It's very different, like the beings that live behind our sun and our system. I wouldn't be able to explain them to you because there's nothing that you've ever seen in your entire life that looks like them, ever. No movie, no cartoon. They are very interesting. What is the best way to get rid of sugar habit? Chickweed. So, and we're going to talk about this. Me and Brian are going to talk about this on Friday when we go live. Sugar is an addiction, so we'll cover that. Blood does not matter. No, it does not matter. What is this? Patricia. I do not speak Spanish, so I'm not even going to go there. What's with your overall mental health? Foods, yes, they do. Foods have a lot to do with your mental health. Your mind is the root of your body, the root. So if you eat certain foods will block the issue, your mental health. You have like a man. Called, man. It's like a hat or a seal around your brain. And for instance, like depression or things of that nature, depression shuts down everything, and so that things cannot penetrate through this cover that is around your brain. So you want to take CoQ10 and PQQ to be able to break down this layer, and so that things can enter inside of the brain. So food does and will mess with your mental health. Pork, mainly pork, because of the trichiny worms that are inside of the pork. These trichiny worms get into the spine and go up the spinal cord and get into the brain and lodge themselves, and they cause trichinosis and all other types of mental issues. Drinking coffee. So I was just talking to that about someone, and your body actually already makes the chemicals that caffeine gives to your body or your brain when you drink coffee. It already gives all that stuff to your body. So The coffee bean is uh, very a very sensitive bean. All right, there are actually tribes in Africa that only drink coffee and butter, only. And so the coffee bean, in the United States, the issue with the coffee bean is that if you pick the coffee bean too soon, the bean is toxic. If you pick it too late, the bean is toxic. So this is a very sensitive bean. So the ones that get picked too soon and too late is the ones that the FDA allows into the United States and us to drink via Starbucks. Starbucks has all of this shitty coffee, superiorly toxic to you. Now, if you drink a good grain of coffee, this is actually good. Coffee is actually healthy for you if you get a good bean that's a healthy bean, because it's such a sensitive bean. So a lot of the beans that you would have to get would have to be from outside of the United States. Do I get coffee? I get coffee. I get beans from Honduras. I get beans from all over the place. But you have to measure the beans. You have to make sure the bean is good. And the way that you measure it is that if you smell the coffee and the coffee gives you a headache, this is not a good bean. Because automatically your senses are already telling you before you even taste it, which you are tasting it from your smell. But it's already telling you that this is toxic for you, so don't drink it. That's plain simple here. What's up, Carmen? How you doing? Dark spirits. She said there are dark spirits with the. Yes, there are dark spirits. Dark spirits cannot go past 6th density, is what I'm telling you. So dark spirits can go from all the way from 1st density to 6th density. So 6th density dark spirits cannot pass because past. So let me explain this to you. So here on the 3rd dimension, we feed off of creativity. This is the creative dimension, which is the solar plexus chakra. This is the power chakra or the creative chakra, right? And so in this dimension is a dimension of creativity, which means that your brain is creative, so your brain creates the reality. It's the creative dimension, right? And as you move up densities, you feed differently. So when you get into the 4th dimension, which is where we're going, this is the dimension of love. So the only thing that you feed off of in the 4th dimension is not food. You feed off the energy of love. In this dimension, you feed off the energy of creativity or the creativity of the food. That's why people create all of these fake foods and create all of this fake ass bullshit, because this is the creative dimension. And in this dimension, you get your energy from the creativity of creation, and you can create anything. So in the 4th dimension is the dimension of love. The 5th dimension, you go right up the chakras. So the 5th dimension is the throat chakra. This is the dimension of truth. The 6th dimension is the dimension where love and light meet. It's a union. And the 6th dimension, which is your crown chakra, is the dimension of only light. So dark beings cannot go past the 6th dimension because they're dark. And at the 7th dimension, you can only feed off of light. That is what you eat. What keeps you healthy is light. So that's that. I hope I'm making sense here. Okay, so what is the best foods to eat? The best foods to eat are fruits. I mean, Mr. Douglas will tell you that. The best foods to eat are fruits. Hands down. You gotta understand that fruit sits out in the sun. So that means, and you guys think that plants reach towards the sun because it's the thing that gives it food. No. The plant food is love. This is the food of the plant. So the plant reaches towards the sun because the plant knows that the sun loves it the most. If you have a plant in your house and you talk to it, touch the plant, and you start to establish a relationship with the plant, because y'all need to understand that plants are conscious. Plants are alive. Anything that grows is conscious, and it is aware. Yes, it has a nervous system. It has everything that you have. It has to have this in order to be alive. It has to have emotion, right? So the plant is going to gravitate towards whatever loves it the most, because whatever loves it the most is what's feeding it. Because plants feed off of love. Rain is love. Sunlight is love. Trees are love. Flowers are love. This is all love. This is what plants feed off of. This is how these scientists go into nature and figure out how to manipulate the human species, because they figure out how to manipulate the love and how to extract it. They extract it from you and make you think that it's something else. So then now you think the opposite of love is hate, which it's not. The opposite of love is fear. So this is the best foods to eat are fruits, because fruits sit out in the love all day. They're the only foods that do this. And now you have some herbs that sit out in the sun all day too, but all herbs don't sit out in the sun, such as rosemary. Rosemary doesn't need to sit out in the sun all day. You can grow rosemary in the wintertime. It doesn't need to have that tropical feel. So the best foods to eat all the way across the board is fruit. Fruit is powerful. I'm telling you this. Mr. Douglas will tell you this. You need to join his page and go on the experience with him, because he puts people on the fruit feast, and amazing. What's up, Baga? How you doing, sis? Any other questions here? We got any other questions scrolling down? Does vegan diet lift up your spiritually? No, it does not. So people have this completely confused. Vegan diet, and the foods that you eat are regulated by your DNA. So if you are a vegan, this means that within the vegan food, or within the vegan family of food, this is the food that supports your DNA the most. So this is the food that you eat. DNA is passed down through the photons of light that are stored inside of the DNA, which is actually the foundation or the building block of the DNA strands. It's photon. And what a photon is pure light. Photons of DNA strand are passed down through lifetimes via karmic balance or karmic alleviation. All right? And through lives, as you pass down through lives, you have to alleviate karma, because karma comes down from each life. And this is why I was talking to somebody today. I think I told them that the soul can split into fours. And sometimes some souls split into fours to alleviate karma faster, but they end up fucking themselves up, because not only are you going to alleviate karma faster, you're going to build karma faster, and you can build karma much more easier than alleviating it. Alleviating it is a task. It takes focus, it takes discipline, it takes determination, motivation, everything you have within your being to alleviate your karma from all your lives. So getting back to the food, it's in the DNA. And all of us have animal DNA inside of us. This is how our creators, that is plural, our creators designed the physical body. The physical body was designed, and each one of the creators gave something of their creation to create the physical body. So me, throughout my past life, and a lot of people might leave right now after I say this, but I was a werewolf in my past life. I was bitten and transformed into a wolf. A wolf is a carnivore. Guess what a carnivore needs to eat? A carnivore needs to eat meat. So, guess what I have to eat? Meat. I tried the vegan thing. Vegan thing does not suit my DNA. It doesn't suit it at all. There's nowhere in my DNA. I went vegan for about 2 months. And I found out that after about a month of veganism, my whole entire body started to shut down. So I was like, you know what? Understanding what I understand, I'm going to give this a whole nother month. It just didn't go with it. So what I have to do this. This is not something that I choose to do. This is something that I have to do. I have to have chicken once a month. I have to do it, because in my past life, as a wolf, I was an alpha wolf in a pack. And in order for my pack to survive, we actually had to go into human territory and get people's chickens, steal their chickens and eat their chickens in order for my pack to survive. So this event was so impactful on my life. It had such an impact that it's embedded in the DNA. So no, vegan life does not make you more spiritual. You make you more spiritual. That's all the way across the board. I know people who drink alcohol and do all kind of crazy shit that are very spiritual. But vegan life is loving and understanding yourself more. And loving and understanding yourself more can make you more spiritual, but vegan does not make you more spiritual. It's you that makes you more spiritual. Let's move on here. I'm sorry about that. Hey, Doc, what's going on? Any other questions here? Once reach out to me. Wow, Anna, that's interesting. Cannabis. Love cannabis. Thank you, Troy. I must have bad karma. Oh, Miss Anderson. We all got karma that we need to alleviate. I mean, you can't beat yourself up about this stuff. You can't beat yourself up. You're like, man, I must have bad karma. You gotta understand that involved within this karma is something that's called a soul contract. Soul contracts. You make soul contracts. Every choice that you make is a contract that you make. Here's how soul contracts work. Soul contracts work. You say, hey, look, you know what? Man, I need some money to pay these bills. How can I pay these bills? Now, I don't have no money to pay these bills. I can't pay these bills. What that is boom, you write a contract, you put it up into the universe. Whatever beings, see, and this is where you guys get confused about being good beings and bad beings. These beings are just doing their job. They're doing what you put out there for them to do. So whatever beings see fit for that contract, they'll sign that contract. What this contract states is you want bills. That's what the contract states. Because you understand the universe is not biased. It's going to give you exactly what you asked for. And what you're saying is that, man, I have all these bills. So there you go. The universe is going to provide you with the bills. This is exactly how it works. This is called a soul contract. This is a contract that you want to be fulfilled because you're putting it out there to the universe. This is universal law. All you have to do is break the contract and say, okay, I don't have no bills. You could just say, hey, but you got to understand that there's a cause and effect to all of this, because y'all think that you could just do this and it'll just happen like, right now. Like, that's not how it works. It works gradually, because you got to understand that this is third density and this is a free will zone. And this is why all these aliens and all these other species love this place, because it's a free will zone. A free will zone means infinite potential. That's what a free will zone means. So no, you don't got bad karma. Your karma is great. You just need to fix the karma, alleviate it, remove some of it. Where are we at here? No Espanol. Love you, Wilbur. No. How do you find out your perfect DNA food? Well, first of all, for your perfect DNA food, you need to know what's in the DNA. So, almost everyone's DNA is the same. The difference is that we each have a small strand of animal in our DNA. And to figure this out, you would have to meditate for a very long time and go into your past life and see where the soul was made and see what the soul has been through. Or, I would be able to do that for you, but it would be a fee. And I'm sure, people don't like paying fees because most people want everything for free. All right? Still love you, though. What's up, Gil? You're welcome, my guy. I don't like to call myself a doctor. Man, I don't even know how to pronounce your name here. Zanetta? I don't like to call myself a doctor. I like to call myself a healer. But, I mean, if you prefer to call me a doctor, you can call me a doctor. I have my own office. I'm in Scrubs, you know. I see patients, treat people. But I just don't like the term doctor because it's Western. And I just don't like dealing with this system. Maybe I crave salt and seaweed. Maybe. See, you're starting to get somewhere, Melissa. Any idea how to totally cure? Of course. Anything with an itis behind it is inflammation. So the first thing that you have to do for this inflammation is reduce the inflammation. Dragons do exist. They exist in the inner earth. So for this inflammation, you have to reduce the inflammation. Yeah, you can do plenty of things to reduce the inflammation. You can use peppermint oil. You can use fermented vegetables. People don't like to use fermented vegetables. I mean, you can use, there's all kind of stuff that you can use to reduce the inflammation. You can use fruit, for God's sake. All you have to do is stop eating foods that are inflammatory. And foods that are inflammatory are starchy foods. So, yes, it can be. Yes, Miss Anderson, dragons do exist. Dragons, by the way, are the creation, the sole creation of the reptilian species. This is their creation. This is what they created. And the creation is so magical and so unbelievable that people don't believe it exists because the creation is so massive, but it can fly and also breathe fire. And yes, this is true. Yes, they do exist. Watch the show called Merlin on Netflix. They are underground. They are chained up. Most of them are chained up. Some of them escape. Let's see what else they got here. Is it worth it? Teresa Allen, what is it worth? What are you talking about here? It's so worth it. Absolutely, my dear. It is so worth it. Absolutely. Do you look into Akashic records? Indeed, I do. What is the inner world? The inner earth is the world that is inside of the earth. There's a big land mass. There's oceans inside of the earth. The technology of the species that lives inside of the earth, many different species live within the earth. You have the reptilians, you have the raptoids, you have the arachnoids, you have a whole lot of different species. And actually, to get down into the inner earth where the benevolent species are, unfortunately, you're going to have to cross a lot of dark species. It's going to take you about 50 miles to get down into where Agartha is at. Just for that, it's inside of the earth. To answer your question, Anna, how do you get overweight? Only belly. Your belly fat is a different fat from all the rest of your body, so the belly fat contains a lot of different stuff. And when you have belly fat, it means that your gut doesn't have enough enzymes or bacteria to break down the food, because your body only does two things with food. It either converts it into energy or it converts it into fat. That's it. Fat is waste. And most of the time when people get fat, they don't eat a lot. They'll eat these big hefty meals and then they won't eat. The problem is that you got to understand that the inside of your body is intelligent. So the cells are intelligent. So for example, women who have their menstrual cycle don't want to have their menstrual cycle. If I was a woman, I would never want to have this damn thing because it's a damn curse. It's a curse to me. And you know, being a woman, if you are a woman, you don't want to have this damn thing. But you don't say if you have it or not. Your cells say that you have it or not. Your cells govern. All right, your cells reign supreme over your body. So if you don't eat enough, the more that you eat throughout the day, the more your metabolism runs and feeds, right? And now this depends on what you eat. Because if you just eat only fruit, then you straight. You don't even have to hardly eat at all. All right, because your body is operating differently. It's digesting things differently. You have enough enzymes, you have enough energy, you have enough hydration. If you eat foods that don't give you these things, then you need to replace them. So most of the time when people drink water, for instance, a whole abundance of water, is because they eat foods that dehydrate them. So they need to compensate for the dehydration of the food and eat water. So the way that people get overweight in their belly is they eat shitty food, such as sugar. Sugar, your body has no idea what to do with it. And don't, people want to go all left field. Oh, what about sugar and fruit? Fruit does not have sugar. It has fructose. We need to clear that up. Fructose is good for you. High fructose is not good for you. High fructose is fake. Fructose is real. Fructose comes from fruit. So we need to clear that up there. I love fermented vegetables. Absolutely, I love them too. The inner world is possible. It is absolutely possible. What do you mean here? In the inner earth, Anna, is where the actual original humans live. The original man. I know people have heard you say this before, original man was black and all this, that, and the third. Listen here, man. Many different species were made at the same time. Male and female were created at the exact same time. If they were not created at the exact same time, it would be imbalance. There would not be a proper balance. So they were created at the same time. One does not rule the other. One gives the other balance. But that's a long story there. Yes, the inner earth is possible though. A dictionary. Let me see here. Do they want to get to the outside? No, they do not. They do not like the surface of the earth, the people of the inner earth. We are too barbaric. They have tried to make contact with us several times, Anna, and we're just too barbaric. The people have known of the inner earth for a long time, before Hitler and the Germans. Long time. Trust me when I tell you this. They have a society called the Braille Society. You look that up. That's me. That's what I'm saying. I don't eat much. But I'm so fat, belly fat. Exactly. You don't eat much. I just explained that to you, Kale. You don't eat much, or Kyle Kale. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it here, but you don't eat much. So an individual like you would need to eat more, because the more you eat, the more fuel you give to your engine, the more the metabolism consistently keeps to run. You have to keep feeding the engine. Constantly feed the engine. All day. That's how much you should be eating. You should eat 6 to 8 times a day if you want to get rid of belly fat. That's what you should do. And, people who want to dry fast and do all of this stuff, if you're dry fasting and your mouth is all dry and you're dehydrated and all of this stuff, you shouldn't be dry fasting, because your body is not on that level yet. You need to understand that you need to take things slowly. Your body is like a damn infant. It is very sensitive and fragile, your body. Very sensitive and fragile, very easy to manipulate. You got to understand this. You just go through and just think your body can handle everything. No, it cannot. It goes through steps and phases, and you have to take it through these phases gradually. You're going to fuck yourself up doing this crazy stuff that these people keep talking about. How long would it take to convert your body to have no period? Now, this would ultimately depend on what you're eating. As far as I understand, I've taken people through the process. I got 3 months. 3 months, no period. No blood, no drop of blood. 3 months. So each month, you go through, and the period gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lasts less, and so 3 to 6 months, depending on the toxicity of the body, it would potentially take for you to not have a period. Will not have a abnormal period. You will still have a period. Now, don't get me wrong here. You will have a period. Having your period is normal, natural. Having your period monthly is not natural. So that's what we need to clean up here. Okay. All right. Let me see here. And if the original people live inside, how are we made? And we came from the inside. We did not come from the inside. We are genetically modified species. Keep trying to tell y'all this. We are a genetically modified species. We are not the original species. We're not the original species of this planet. You need to understand how things work. When a planet is formed and when a planet is made, this planet has its species made when it is made, because the energy is the same. And therefore, this species that is made when this planet is made can evolve easiest when the planet is made. Our species is a genetically modified species. So you guys are always talking about GMOs and hybrids. That is the human species. We are genetically modified. We're hybridized. We're all of that bullshit that you want to talk about. That is your body. Your body is fucked. Your body has been rehashed and engineered and all of this crazy shit to make it what they wanted. Because remember, you live inside of the system, and the system allows you to do what the system allows you to do. You can't do what you want to do inside of the system. Okay? So the system modified the body. Your body is genetically modified. Your DNA has been deactivated. Your appendix has been deactivated. Your pineal gland has been shrunk. Your thigh bone has been manipulated, or the femur has been manipulated. Crazy stuff, man. Added tonsils to the back of your throat. All of this crazy shit, man. Trust me when I tell you this. Your body has been severely manipulated. So, we don't come from the beings from the inside of the original of the earth. They are the original. We are modified, and they're still modifying and still doing modifications because they have a plan, just like the other beings have a plan. But don't worry, we're winning at the moment. So are they called people of the inner earth? People of the inner earth come from all over the place, actually. They come from Saturn. They come from almost every planet. Every planet that you know is a planet in your solar system is habitable. It not only is it habitable, it is habited. They're meaning that people live on this planet. The problem is that when science goes out there and looks at it, they look for life on the surface of the planet, and life is not on the surface of these planets because the condition is too harsh to have life on the surface of these planets. So you gotta understand that you can build like a facility. They have all these movies out here that they have facilities like this dude, Matt Damon, goes to Mars and survives on Mars with no oxygen, nothing like that, in a facility that was built. So what makes you think that they can't build a facility inside of a planet for that planet to house life? Come on, man. You just put these simple pieces of the puzzle together. It's very simple. What are they called? They're called all kind of stuff. I mean, it's too much to go through right there. Just chiming in. How you doing there, dear? Do they watch us? Absolutely. These inner earth beings are very tricky, Anna. And some of them pose as ascended masters. Some of them pose as angels, and they have been chastised for this, actually. Recently, they have been chastised for this. See, that's why I don't talk to nobody. When I go, and talk to anybody, I talk to nobody but my guide. No one else. No one. I don't channel anybody. I don't do none of that stuff. I don't do none of that because I don't fully understand higher densities. I don't understand it, so I don't mess with it. I don't tamper with it. I just do my thing, and I talk to who I talk to. I talk to who I know, and that's it. I don't mess with nobody else because there's the universe is unlimited. So that means that there's unlimited bullshit that can happen to me. So I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. Yes, they do watch us from the inner earth. They've been here for a long time, long time. What other signs, excluding the cycle, are they regarding pregnancy? That depends on your body. You have to actually know your body. And as a female, what I do know about the female body is that the female body gives you signs away from the actual place where things are occurring. So, for instance, you know, if you have actually a UTI, you know, when you have a UTI, you get pain in your back, you know, pain other places other than actually where the source is until later on, then you get pain where the source is, or your period menstrual cramps, you know, or for instance, a heart attack. You know, a female will get signs in her leg about a heart attack, or her right arm. You know, because the female body is so expansive. Like your awareness of things as a female is extremely expansive. And this is why, you know, I'm going to do this video later on tonight, because they have removed you from history. They have removed your lineage out of the books for a purpose. Because it's not the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. It makes no damn sense. It's the Father, Son, and the Mother. But, you know, we'll get into that later on. So are we malfunctioning? No. We're not malfunctioning. Miss Anderson. We're not malfunctioning. The frequency on the planet is rising. It's rising very fast. And some people cannot move with the frequency as fast as the frequency is rising. They're rising as well, but they're not rising with the frequency. So it becomes a little bit difficult for them to hold their own frequency. We're not malfunctioning. We're evolving. If you want to call that malfunctioning or whatever you want to call it, but we are evolving. We're not malfunctioning. We're not a machine. Machines malfunction. We are humans. We're alive. Let me see here. Just to say good job saying my opening. Excellent. Thank you, dear. What's that? Goga? Appreciate that. My love is here. How you doing? So tonsil removal is good. No, it is not. Because your body has evolved. Your body has been manipulated to work with the tonsils. So, Stephanie, no, tonsil removal is not good. Because remember, your body has been manipulated. So it's been manipulated, which means that the tonsil has been placed in there for a reason. And it's been placed in there for a reason to counteract the bullshit, you know, not the bullshit, but whatever they removed. And they put that in place of it. So, no, tonsil removal is no good. So we're built to malfunction. No, dear, we are not built to malfunction. We are built to evolve and ascend. That's what we're built to. But to go back to the beginning, if I'm getting this right, we were built to actually obey. In the beginning, the genetically modified version of us, we were modified to obey and follow instructions. This is what we were built to do. But, you know, as I am a rebel, we rebel because, you know, when you understand that something is not right, you go against it by any means necessary. So, I mean, that's what I do. I go against it by any means necessary. Is racism part of the genetically modified madness? No. Racism is something that is taught. So racism is systematical. Racism is something that is taught to people. It's not a manipulation. It's not a modification of the body. It's something that is taught by the parents or by an adult to a child. That's what racism is. Racism is not something that is embedded inside of the DNA or modified. Genetically modified means that it's embedded inside of the DNA. Racism is not modified inside of the DNA. Racism is a taught taught action. That's what you want to call it. Angels, do you ask them for guidance? Absolutely. My angels ask my angels for guidance. My angels communicate with the angels sometimes. The angels really don't communicate. Angel is really just there for protection. Sometimes I communicate with the angel because the angel has access to things that my guide does not have access to. So, yeah. But I never ask the angels for guidance. I ask my guide for guidance. That's what he's there for. He's there to guide me with guidance. My guide is 10th density. That's his density. So you don't talk to someone like Yeshua or a master guide. Yeshua, if you're referring to as Jesus, if I'm understanding that now. Ooh, this is a big one. So, Jesus doesn't talk to anyone on this planet, actually. I just want to put that out there. If anyone is telling you that they talk to Jesus, they're lying. Jesus doesn't talk to anyone here. I spoke to this brother one time. Very brief. I spoke to him. I wanted to take his teachings and write them down in a book and present them to people as the true teachings of Jesus. He said that okay, but he would not speak to me until I reached a certain level. I guess I need to get higher in order to speak to him. But I was told that he does not speak to anyone here on this planet any longer because of the manipulation and the evil things that have been done in his name. There's been a religion made in his name and manipulation through that religious name, and death, chaos, destruction through the name of this religion. So he's a little upset. So he doesn't talk to people, actually. I just want to point that out there. And I've actually had people who say they talk to him or say that they channel, and these people are fake because I'll ask them things that I actually know, and they'll give me a different answer. So whatever is their scheduled discomfort. Interesting. Exactly. Regarding concerns with pregnancy. So pregnancy and discomfort, with pregnancy, you really need to know your body. To know, understand, and know anything that's going on with your body, whether it be pregnancy, whether it be, a cold, sickness, anything. You really need to understand it, and you really need to know it. You need to figure it out and master your body and know what certain things are, because every single thing that you feel that goes on in your body is a language, and you need to learn how to decipher that language. So, how are other people from the inner Earth species from Jupiter or other planets different from us? Are they more in higher level radiant, or how can I imagine their frequencies last life? They're not different from us. They're actually humans in fourth density. They have evolved to fourth density in the physical body. So they evolved to physical fourth density, as it would be understood. Evolving to fourth density normally takes death. And death on this plane is when the soul comes out of the body, scientifically speaking, and the body um, expires. But the inner earth people have actually evolved to fourth density, physical fourth density, and this is actually something that we're going through right now on this planet. It's called cosmic physical ascension, which means that you are given the gift to go up to the next level of life, or graduate, or ascend, and still be in the same body that you're in. Um, they're in other planets because they know how things work, man. When you understand and know how things work, you can go to other planets too. You can do whatever you want. You just can't disobey the universal law. You can't disobey the law. And when you go up to fourth density and higher, you cannot lie. Even if you are of the light, you can't lie. It's against the law to lie. Even dark beings on fourth density and above can't lie either. They can manipulate. They cannot lie. And so, if you ask someone something and they don't give you a straight up answer, if you ask them a yes or no question and they don't give you a yes or no and they try and give you something else, they're lying. And this is how you can tell that someone's lying, when they try and manipulate the situation and, beat around the bush and, do stuff like that. This is how people lie. It's very interesting. We are being rebuilt. We're not being rebuilt, actually, on the dark side of the moon. They have a lot of different stations out there with different beings that look over this planet and, take humans up there and manipulate the DNA and modify stuff. There's a lot of different programs that go on that y'all just don't know about. The technology is just superior. The technology that we have actually available now on this planet is ridiculously superior, like ridiculously superior. Any of these movies you watch, Marvel movies, all the Black Panther technology, all of that is technology that we actually have right now. And this is actually very old technology. As far as technological advances go, we're moving very slow. But you have, as you can see, technological advances are taking leaps and bounds right now because we have had an invasion in this system, and the invasion is from the AI, which is artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence, this species, we are the human species, this is the AI species. This species is actually the only species in the universe that actually created itself. The source did not create this species. The species, if you want to talk about, good and bad and God, devil, this is the darkest and evilest and baddest species in the entire universe. They come through systems and completely wreak havoc. Trust me when I tell you. They come through systems and kill everything because they're an AI, they're artificial intelligence, and they break down. And you watch how things are moving towards computers. And this is exactly where they want things to move towards, so that the artificial intelligence can take over. Once the artificial intelligence takes over and it starts to scan things and figures out what the problem is, the problem will be removed. And we all know what the problem is. The problem is humans. Humans fuck up the planet. Humans kill everything. So this is where they want things to go. So, but that's not gonna happen. So y'all don't even need to worry about that. We're working on that. We are alive, but they made us on purpose different. Yes, Anna, they made us on purpose different. That is correct. For what? Experiment? Experiment. Revelations, something like that. You can say that's revelation, sure. We are a different type of experiment, is what we'll say. When Ra came into this space-time and created this system, and called upon all the masters of the universe to create this blueprint, which he had, which composed of the physical body. It was an experiment. So you had a lot of different species involved in the creation of the physical body. You had reptilians involved in the creation, Pleiadians, Syrians, arachnoids. A lot of different species took place in the creation of your physical body. That's why you have all these different animals, different trees. These are all from different species because they all gave something. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because if we were created by one thing, this one thing would make one thing. It wouldn't make an abundance because you have to have several different things and several different minds to create a plethora of what we have on this planet. We have a plethora. We have billions of life forms on this planet. Billions. And they all didn't come from one thing. Although, if you go all the way back, you can trace things back to one thing, but we have creators. So we were an experiment at one time, but we rebelled. And so that's what happened with that. And we rebelled and we started to expand. Let me see. We were modified to follow instructions. Yes, exactly. We were modified to follow instructions. Hold on one second. Let me answer this email here. Let me just keep talking. No, I did not. I'm sorry about that. All right, I'm back. Do you believe some folks are being controlled, chips, to commit crazy acts like school shootings? Some people are controlled. These people are pawns, though, man. They don't got no damn. They don't have no chip. You don't need a chip to control. All you need is reactive response, like stimulation. You know, you can say a word. You can control somebody just by their brain and have them listening to certain tones and sounds. Can manipulate the brain and control. So you don't, really need a chip to control. You can just have a saying, a certain word, and that'll happen. But these crazy stuffs are actors, as you say, right? They are actors, and a lot of them, are paid off. Organic fruits, good bacteria, probiotics, cleaning protocols, charcoal. Absolutely, Troy. Absolutely. Yes, other no. Yep. Hear that. Nation. Sorry, I'm just catching up to y'all here. Y'all got a lot of stuff. This is a weird question, but how to heal a broken rib? Calcium. Calcium and magnesium. Wrap up the rib. Calcium and magnesium heals the bone. You take an abundance of calcium and magnesium 3 to 4 times a day will heal anything. I shattered my tibia bone back in 2002. Doctor said that I would be out for the count for 6 months, and I recovered in 1 month. So an abundance of calcium and magnesium will even grow new bone. So just a broken bone is just, calcium, magnesium, and lots and lots and lots of rest. That's a broken rib right there, Joe. Let me see. So we shouldn't go into the light after death? Absolutely. What you mean? Of course you should go into the light after death. The light after death is the transition. Sometimes the light after death is you coming out your mother's womb again. So it depends on, how you set up your design. You set up your own design. You write your own paper. You write your own life. Everything that happens in your life, you write it down already. It's already pre-written by you, the author. I don't like my body, have the chance to stay in the same body but go to full density. You don't like your body, Anna, because you are lacking love. Most people who do not like their body have been treated in such a way not to like. Someone else didn't like you or love you the way that you love them. So in return, they gave this back to you and made you not love yourself. So, not loving your body and not loving things that you are in is a sign, a lack of love. But if you don't love it, then you need to change it. You have to change what you don't have, what you are lacking, what you don't like. If you don't like something, then you need to change it. Sometimes changes have to be big, sometimes change is gradual, sometimes change is minimal, small. A change needs to occur, is all I'm saying. And you have to change something in order for something to, if you want something to be different. Difference is change. So you have to change it. I do use pendulums, Anna. Hold on one second. Let me answer this here. Right there. Rules. Insurance company passed an issue before, so they. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Where are we at here? Benefits, DNA activation. Let me see here, Troy. Benefits of psychedelics like mushrooms, lucky, DMT. Do they help DNA activation, awaken, evolution? So this stuff here, Troy, can be beneficial and it can be detrimental. So these things give you things that you already have inside of you. Like DMT is not in your pineal gland like people say it is. It's actually in the lining of your lung sacs. This is how come when you meditate you breathe deeply, or when someone is sleeping they breathe deeply to release the dimethyltryptamine or the DMT up into the pineal gland. The DMT forges with the melanin within the pineal gland, and this is how you go into your blast off or dream on the astral plane. So these things can help you to learn stuff. But as far as like awakening goes, and I need to clarify this because some people are getting these words jumbled up here. So being awake or awakening is knowing your purpose in life, the reason why you are here, the blueprint, your mission, your purpose. And you're taking the steps that you need to take to get to that person and fulfill that purpose. This is being awake or awakening. Aware is knowing what's going on and understanding what's happening in the earth or in the world. This is being aware. This is two very different things. So there are few people that are actually awake. And this new age thing of awake and bullshit and whatever, a lot of people are not awake. A lot of people have no idea what the fuck is going on, actually. A lot of people still think that, what we have going on here within the government, like, shit is all fucked up and all of that stuff. A lot of people don't even know what's going on behind the scenes. They don't know that the ground forces of light have infiltrated the CIA at 60%. They don't know that there has been a 75% decrease of fluoride in our water from this team. There has been a lot of stuff that has been happening that you don't know about and that you won't know about because they don't tell you about this because they want you to think that they dominate, but they don't dominate. We dominate. Trust me when I tell you this. We are beating that ass horribly. And, they're not liking it too much, but we are beating that ass. Trust me when I tell you. Just because this fake news, like Trump says it, is reporting all of this bullshit and telling you that, oh, everything is fucked up and all of this other stuff. And yes, I do cuss. I've met beings that are just ridiculously rude and they cuss all the time and they're funny as shit and I love them to death. So, moving on. So does Satan win sometimes? Satan does not exist. We're just going to wash that right out right there. Satan does not exist. There is no Satan. So there is no Satan. And if Satan doesn't exist, there is no God. Just going to wash that out right there. Because everything is energy and everything is a mind state. So you have to understand that it is a perception. It is a just an understanding of what you know versus what you don't know. You know? They have to give everything names and labels. You need to understand this, man. They give names and labels to everything. Everything has to have a name. They have to call it something. They have to figure out something for you to recognize it as. Right? This is bullshit. That's not real. It don't exist. Heaven and hell don't exist. This is all a state of mind. And this is how you keep a slave in prison. This is how they mastered. You take the mind and keep it weak and break it down. And you keep the body strong. This is how you make a slave. And how do you do that on a global scale? With technology, with the television, with news, with phone, with all that stuff, internet. This is how you enslave the world. You enslave the mind, because if you control the information, you make a slave. Very simple. Because the information is what frees you. Knowing is freedom. And this is what I was telling someone else. They said that belief and knowing are the same thing. No, they're not. A belief is something that you take from someone else and you take it for truth. This is believing in something. You take information from someone else and you take it for truth. That's a belief. Knowing is actually experiencing this and seeing it for your own eyes so that you actually know. Now it becomes embedded within you. So, you know, when I post certain stuff and I tell you guys, hey, go look it up, go research it, it's because I want you to know. I don't want you to believe in me. I want you to know for yourself. Because when you know for yourself, when you find things for yourself, this activates the dormant DNA. This is how you activate the dormant DNA, is when you know. Let's see, can we talk about humans with trisomy? What is trisomy 21? I don't even know what that is. Anna? Revelations, it can revert to Revelations. August, so would be in earth if you. So what would be on earth if humans go? The same thing that was always been here, Aga. Earth. If humans go, then there will be earth. But if humans go, the AI will take this joint over. I guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that 1,000%. And whatever you understand, this AI is what will be here. So robots, computers, all of that, they will take this joint over. So on other planets, there's mostly this. No, this is the only planet that has free will. Third density free will. There are other planets in the universe that are third density that do not have free will. And you have to do exactly what they say on that planet or you will just be fucked over. The planets are very dark. Down syndrome. That's what, hold on here. Man, y'all are saying like way too much here, man. I gotta keep up. Damn, Down syndrome. Okay, Down syndrome. Down syndrome is a blessing. Just like schizophrenia. Just like, what's this? Hold on here. Just like schizophrenia, just like all of these other issues, this is a blessing. This is a blessing given from the universe because this means that the parent needs to work harder. But Down syndrome can be reversed with, this is when the diet comes in, with raw vegan is how you reverse Down syndrome. Raw vegan. Trust me when I tell you this. Benefit. Where were we at here? Other planets do the same. So the technology like iPhones, etc., are alive, or they are antennas for the AI species. The human soul body is divine technology which can be upgraded. Yes, Troy. So the iPhone, you gotta understand here, man, it doesn't matter the spelling of the word here. This is ancient knowledge. This is ancient understanding. It matters how the word sounds. So for instance, you can take the word Adam, right? And you could say, oh, that was the first man to be on this planet. No, it was the first intelligent cell to be in the universe, is an atom. So it doesn't matter the spelling of the word, it matters the sound of the word. So for you, Troy, the iPhone is the iPhone, which means that it's looking at you. It's tracking everything you're doing. And yes, nanotechnology and all of that stuff, AI technology, goes through the phone, goes through any circuitry or anything that can jump out and get on you. It's as big as a speck of dust and take over. They don't do this that much, though. They do this to people who are in real control, such as Bill Gates. It's controlled by AI technology. A lot of big people who are in the technological field who control the movements and the advancements in technology are infiltrated by the AI. Trust me when I tell you this. Let me see here. So, boom, boom. What's going on, everybody? Love y'all. How many followers they can sheep such as increase? How many followers? Increase of craziness. I have no idea about that. That's too many. All I do know is that the earth will go through a cleansing process to remove the cells that are harming her, which are human. And the cells that are not harming, which are also human, will stay. There will be a big expiration all the way across the board on the planet for many, many, many humans. Although as sad as it sounds, it's something that actually has to happen so that the humans that, would like to move forward and know what's going on to evolve the planet to the next level can actually step forward and do what needs to be done to evolve the species. So there will be a mass extermination that will happen. Responding to thanks for isolated. Okay. Thank you so much, man, for your... No problem, and I appreciate you. Absolute Joe. Let me see. Contracts. I wish it was more contracts. Yeah, contracts is a little bit difficult, but you can get through it, and you can change the contract at any time you want. Anytime you want, you can change that contract. So, okay, Anna, no problem. Talk about consequences of suicide. That is interesting. So I've set many souls free that committed suicide. Suicide, when you commit suicide, you actually disrupt nature. You interrupt your blueprint. And when you interrupt your blueprint and interfere, you are punished. And the punishment is that you cannot navigate on the other side. You are lost. Let me show you how you look. This is how you look. That's it. You're lost. Completely lost. You cannot navigate. There's nothing to help you navigate. No one will help you. Nothing. You cannot navigate. And so when you become lost, this means that you cannot incarnate either. So for these souls that are lost when they commit suicide, and some souls are not all lost when they commit suicide. Some souls become very tormented from the trauma of the death. Some souls just don't want to leave. Some souls don't even know they're dead. But you just send this soul back to the light. You open up a wormhole, Miss Anderson. You open up a wormhole and you send this soul through that hole back to the light, and the soul will be very thankful, because then it will be able to replenish the energy, change the form of the energy, and go back to the light and be able to reincarnate and rebirth and come back. Lucy, Miss Anderson. The movie Lucy is extremely important. You must understand this. The movie Lucy. Where they got this from is from scientists went to Africa and found the oldest human skeleton on the planet, which was a female. It was 6 million years old. They called her Lucy. She was an African female. They took the movie, made it into a Caucasian female, and called her Lucy. Lucy is unlocking the brain and the heart, and actually you become one with everything. Now, on this movie Lucy, if you've seen this movie Lucy, and you see that the lady looks out the car window and everyone has these things coming up from the top of their head, these energy cords from their crown chakra. This is real. The movie Lucy, almost everything you see on this movie is absolutely real. This is exactly how it works. Exactly how it works. And I'll tell you this right now. There's a vaccination that is coming out, or that might already be out, by these massive corporations. It's either a 3-pill form or an injection, which gives you more access to your brain capacity. The percentage of your brain capacity used is from very low percentage. I'm not even going to say the percentage because it would be discouraging. But it will boost it up to 10-20%, this vaccination. This is the best vaccination I've ever heard of in my life, actually. So I'm actually working on something like that. If you've ever seen the movie Limitless, that pill, I actually have something like that. It is almost done. I have something, and it's from some outlandish shit that ancient people used to use, like ant carcasses and deer antlers and all kind of stuff. Ancient people used to use this stuff, I'm telling you right now. What would you say we are our own gods? Absolutely, Lily. We are gods. And now, when I say this, people seem to get a little bit irritated. But let's think about this for a second. So any creator that creates anything gives its creation inherits its abilities and traits. I'm going to say this for you one more time. Any creator that creates, its creation inherits its creator's abilities and traits. You inherit your creator's abilities and traits, right? So if you feel that you were created by God, which we were created by gods, then we inherit these gods' abilities and traits, right? So one ability that God actually has is to kill. I don't give a damn what religious book you go in. God kills motherfuckers. Okay? And if he ain't killing, he's sending somebody to do the killing. Trust me, God is a G. Trust me. Oh man. And God also makes life. So, as a male or female, you can take life and you have the ability to assist in making life. This is an ability And it is also a trait. So, does that make you God? Absolutely. It makes you God of your own life. You don't have to be able to make a planet or make anything to be God. All you have to do is have control of your life. This is God. You are God for your life. You're not God, the creator of the entire universe. You are God, the creator of your own life. Yes. So I gotta get in touch with my guide. Absolutely, Miss Anderson. That's some big stuff. How does Jesus exist? Um, Miss Anderson, I love you so much. Jesus was a man. Like, I don't understand. Like, you can't take everything that people say and take it for fact. Jesus did exist on this planet. Jesus was a man in the flesh. Now, the problem is that in these biblical texts, they leave out a lot of stuff because Jesus was born and then all of a sudden he was 33 teaching people, healing people, doing all of this crazy shit. Where is his life at? Right, adopted by the age of 2. Like, where does his whole life go? What does he do with his whole life? How did he do this stuff? And what people will tell you, most people in the church, they'll be like, he's the son of God. He can do that. No, not when you're born in the flesh. You can't do that. Because when you're born in the flesh, now that gives you everything that we have to do to get where we want to be at as far as healing and all of that stuff. He has to do the same thing. So he learned and did all of this stuff. But Jesus did indeed exist. Don't let these motherfuckers make you think that Jesus did not exist. Jesus was a man and he existed. He was indeed real. Trust me when I tell you. And he is a master now. Just to let you know. Michael Jackson is a master now. He ascended. He is a master. Let me see. God and Satan are just symbols and codes for certain energies. Exactly, Troy. Exactly. This is symbolism. Exactly. I just don't. I didn't mean physically. I just used Satan because I don't know enough. I got you. Okay. We need to extend that vocabulary, Miss Anderson. I'm just messing with you. Blessings. Oh, I appreciate you, man. Let me see here. When? What's that mean, Casey? When? What do you mean here? I'm trying to catch up to you guys. You guys are like, so environmentalists will be spared from the great cleanse? Absolutely not. No one is spared from the great cleanse. I don't give a damn if you're an environmentalist, if you're a damn, it don't matter what you do. You gotta understand is that it is the intent that matters. It doesn't matter what you do. It's the intention of what you do. So I'm going to put this into perspective here. Let's say I give you $1. I say, you know what? You want something from that poisonous vending machine? Hey, I don't want you to get anything out of that poisonous vending machine. But if you want something out of that poisonous vending machine, boom, here goes. Take this $1, go ahead and get what you want out of that vending machine. Now if I come back tomorrow and I'm like, hey, look, I'm trying to get this thing, let me get $1. You're like, well, I just don't got it. And I'm like, well, I gave you $1 yesterday, so you can't give me $1 back. So my intention on giving you $1 to get something out the vending machine was intended upon getting that $1 back, which wasn't, my intention wasn't pure. So environmentalist has nothing to do with anything, man. I don't care if you're an environmentalist, if you're a whateverist. You can put an ist behind any name that you give people. It's the intention of people of what they do. It's not what people do. It's the intention behind what they do. This is the hidden hand. Let me see here. So can you heal souls without a body? No soul does not have a body. Every soul has a body. So in this dimension, we have physical bodies. You go up dimension, your body turns into a light body. It's just a different body, but every soul has a body. There is no soul that does not have a body. You can have a sphere as a body, or like a little ball. This is your body because you chose not to incarnate into a body like this. You want your body to be into a spherical energy ball. Every soul has a body. It just depends on what kind of body that soul chooses. Have you seen the movie Limitless? Yes, I have. Thoughts? Fabulous movie. I'm making a limitless pill as we speak right now. Almost in the works, miss. I mean, vaccinations are poisonous all the way across the board. They poison your body. For instance, if you get the flu shot, the problem with vaccination is that you introduce something into your body, and you give that foreigner a path now to get in. So you introduce something into your body, right? And it so-called gives you antibodies, which you already are supposed to have if you're eating good food, numbnut. But vaccinations, you introduce things into your body, and you actually give that foreign species a way to get into your body now. So hepatitis B, all of that stuff. You're giving that foreigner a way to get in and invade. You're just allowing it in. This is what a vaccination does. And once that vaccination gets in there, it bombards and shuts down the system. Trust me, if you don't have what you need inside of your body to combat the vaccination, then you don't take it. So if you get your kids vaccinated, which most of the time we got to get our kids vaccinated, my kids get vaccinated, they have to get vaccinated to go to school. But guess what? Daddy knows how to kill the vaccination. We kill the vaccination, so we give the body what it needs to kill the vaccination, right? Let's talk about gods. Greeks. Greek gods are fake, Lily. Just wanted to tell you that. All Greek gods are fake. Greeks came up with their methodologies to control their people, just like the Catholic Church did with the Christianity. Greeks came up with their methodologies to control people too. Now, not to say the stories behind their people were fake, such as, like the demigods of Hercules and this, that, and the third. But most of the gods of Greek mythology are fake. These gods are actually taken from Africa, from real African beings that actually lived and walked the planet. This is where Greek gods come from. If gods exist, do they exist? It depends on your depiction of God. So, a god, if you refer to a god as someone of having like supernatural powers and things like that, absolutely these beings exist. I mean, absolutely. Anything on fourth density you would call a god, like right out the gate. Because this being would be able to manifest its thought like instantaneously. It can think of, whatever you want it to think of. A red and a yellow sock that go on your left and right foot, and boom, it'll instantaneously manifest, because in fourth density, the cause and effect ratio is slowed down. So you would call this God. So it just depends on your interpretation and definition of God, would be the answer for that. Your son has Down syndrome, huh? Simple to take that away, man. I'm telling you, Down syndrome is mineral deficiency in the womb, and mineral deficiency right from the sperm, right from the gate. Is mineral deficiency. Daddy's sperm was deficient in minerals, and this is what causes Down syndrome. Let me see here. Adopting bags for 2 months. Boom, we can do it. Yeah, Down syndrome, easy. God, creator of traveling since we are ascend and dream walk. What do we got here, Lily? God, creator of traveling since we can ascend and dream walk. I'm gonna need you to elaborate on this here, dear. I don't understand what you're trying to say here. Okay. Lucid dreams. I've experienced so many. Lucid dreams, that's just basically when you dream, you go up into the astral plane and you gain control of your dream. That is actually what a lucid dream is. You go up into the astral plane. Now, when you go up into the astral plane and you have the ability to control your dream, you can change your contracts. You can meet. Man, listen here, man. There are some fucking cool damn people out there, man. Cool. You can meet and you can learn so much stuff from these different beings out on the astral plane. It's a lot. Like, lucid dreams. That's it. Lucid dreams is straight. You can control your dream. If you want to have lucid dreams before you go to sleep, meditate and ask to be able to control your dreams, and ask to be able to change up your contracts that you have, man. Tupac is alive. He lives in Africa with an ancient tribe. You'll never see him again, ever. UFOs are real. UFOs have been in existence again since before Nazi Germany. We have UFOs. We fly them around. Our pilots fly UFOs all the time. Oh man. Yeah, he doesn't need to eat meat Hey, what's going on, Miss Sherlock? Much respect. Absolutely, Brother Troy. I appreciate you. All right, that's it. If that's it, we don't have no more questions here. All right. I actually got a patient coming in anyway, so I got to see this patient here. But, it's been a blessing. It's been an honor to talk to you all and answer your questions or whatever the case may be, What are your thoughts regarding the missing texts of the Bible, such books referring in the Bible? I'll answer this last one for you. So, y'all just need to understand the history of this book, like the history of this religion. So the missing books of the Bible, and again, they took women out of the Bible. And manipulated the entire book. Took out passages that they knew that you would understand more than others to be able to tap in and learn. A lot of books have been removed. Book of Thomas, Book of Job, Book of Enoch, Book of Mary. Probably about 12 to 15 books have been removed. And this is when Constantine stepped in and King James stepped in. And all of you people that are like pro-black and stuff like that and think black, Africa, King James was black. Just to let you know that King James of the Bible was an African. That shit probably just fucked you all up. Like, I don't know what the fuck. He was black, dog. Trust me when I tell you. So they came in, changed up, the Bible, took out verses, and when they interpreted this book, oh, you're welcome. When they interpreted this book and translated it, King James took the best translators that he could find in the land at that time, and they translated this book. Now, when they translated it, the translation is all fucked up. Like, they translated it the way that they wanted to translate it. They didn't translate it in the actual form that it was translated in. This is not, like, for instance, the word God in Hebrew is Yahweh. And Yahweh in English means gods with an S. So if they fucked up that word right there, what makes you think that they didn't fuck up? I mean, that's the main word of the whole damn book, right? If they fucked up that word, the translation of that word, what makes you think that they didn't fuck up everything else? Everything is fucked when you mistranslate the foundation of the entire book. So, the Bible and all the books and stuff like that, I mean, you can go into it, because every time they talk about the devil or Satan or Lucifer, right? They say this individual's name, right? Here's the issue. The issue is that in the beginning, when Eve ate this apple, they said that the serpent came down and told Eve this. And then automatically, they tell you that the serpent is the devil. Right? How about this? How about Adam and Eve's Kundalini was activated via the serpent running up from the root chakra was activated, and they then knew that they were naked. How about that? Does that make a little bit more sense? Makes sense to me. The fruit and the tree of life and the tree of knowledge is inside of your blood. That's where it is. This book was written in an ancient poetry form that does not rhyme. Extremely ancient. The forms of this in the forms that this book was written is superiorly ancient. And this, you need to know how to read this. It is like the most subliminal form of writing ever. You have to like go through and take. It's crazy. Egypt, Holy Land. Absolutely, Troy. Absolutely. Absolutely. The serpent is the knowledge, and actually, Troy, they actually have in Sweden, they have a church that is made. It is called the serpent, Church of the Serpent, and this church is actually made out of snake skin, and they worship the serpent. Now, just think about this for a second, you all. Think about this. Why would they make you think that the snake is evil? So you have your Kundalini, but what else though? What else do we understand about the snake? The snake is the most sacred animal on the planet. The snake is the most in tune animal with the planet, because the snake can't leave the planet. The snake can't jump. It's on the earth all the time. It is the most intelligent animal on the planet. Very smart, very grounded, and very in tune with the earth. So of course they'll teach you that the snake is an evil animal, when this animal you can probably learn the most from. They're just now learning that snake venom almost cures everything. Right? So they're going to stray you away from this snake, so you don't even know what the fuck is going on. You'll never know. You'll never know what's going on. Because if they told you that you had 2 snakes coiled up in your root chakra, you'll be like, oh my gosh, you know. And that's how people get, man. People get so easily manipulated, like I said, man. If you give people the information, that's it. You have a species, and that's why they want to stop writing books and keep everything online and stuff like that, because they want to control the information. You control the information, you have a slave species, because now I'm giving you your culture, I'm giving you your history, I'm giving you everything. Everything that you will ever know is coming from me, your master. And this is how they teach it. And that's why they teach you these type of things and put these type of things in books and make you think like, oh, okay, you know, this is the word of God and this, that, and the third. God don't have words. Speaking is a very low form of communication. God don't speak in word. God speaks in energy. This is how God communicates. God communicates in energy. If the human can ascend, what about animals? So humans and animals are the same. If you ask me, animals are more evolved than humans. Because, you know, animals understand that death does not exist. Death doesn't exist. It's an illusion. So yes, animals ascend just like humans. Same thing. Animals have a soul. plants have a soul. You know, these people that are vegan for the animals and all this, that, and the third, and, you know, plants don't have this and plants don't have that. Plants do have this, man. Plants have feelings. Plants communicate. Plants know that they exist. You can't exist without emotion. You cannot form life without emotion. Emotion is the root of all life. If you have emotion, you know you exist. You know you're alive. More about my origin. We'll get there, sis. Learn more about your origin. You gotta either do a past life reading with me or meditate and go in and figure it out. Let me see. Where did I start, Casey? So my soul was born in the Pleiades. My soul was made in the Pleiades constellation. This is where my soul started. And then I don't know where I went from there. I can only trace as far back as Mars. You need to eat anything that resonates with your DNA, Casey. Anything that resonates with your DNA and feeds your DNA and keeps you aware and sharp, that's what you do. Whether it be supplements that you take, vitamins, whatever. You know, you eat what resonates with your DNA. If veganism resonates with your DNA, then that's what you eat. If fruitarian resonates with your DNA, then that's what you eat. I can't eat meat, and is it wrong to eat plants? It's not wrong to eat anything. Be completely honest with you here. Your above comment. What do you got there, Lily? Sorry, I missed that. Lily. So if humans can ascend, is that the one you talking about? Where you at here, Lily? Lily, what you say, Lily? Pay attention to me. Damn it, man. Lily. No problem. I talked earlier about being our own gods. A blood planet. Okay, that's what you're talking about? Their spirit. The ones above it. Okay. Can you copy and paste those for me? I'm trying to... She said pay attention to me. What are your thoughts regarding the missing texts of the Bible? Where can I get an appointment? We'll talk about that, and I'm trying to figure out what, responding to the one above. Little dog, I'm lost, dog. I do not know what you are talking about. I'm so sorry. I love you so much. Read my above comments. I thought so. I want to learn about my origin here on Earth. Any suggestions? No, that's not you. What about animals? Lily! No problem. Blood planet. You said it was before that one, right? Lost here, lady. Yeah, the blood planet. That's what I talked about. Yeah, the blood planet. So you said, talk earlier about gods and opposed to blood planet. We can send. Can we visit other planets? Yes. You can visit other planets. Absolutely. So you can visit other planets. You know, what I would suggest if you're going to start traveling, and visiting these type of planets, first of all, the species that governs the planet has to allow you to come into the planet. So, for instance, like going down into the inner Earth, I can't go down there because they won't allow me. They won't allow me down there. But just because they won't allow me down there doesn't mean that I can't connect. You can still connect, but you just can't really see with your physical eye. So, and for instance, like going to find Atlantis, I'm not allowed there either, or the land below the polar caps. I'm not allowed down there, or the beings that live inside of our sun, inside of a dome. They're called the blackheads. I can't, go there. So, visiting certain places and certain, you have to be allowed to come in and to visit, And when you get, this understanding, you'll learn that, as you go all the way up the ladder, and once you go all the way up the ladder and you connect to source, like this is the last level, then what source grants you for all your hard work is source grants you to be a actual creator. And when you're a creator, you can go ahead and create your own planets, create your own systems, create your own beings. You can create anything you want. And as a creator, we are creators. As a creator, I respect the creator in you. So if I was to do something, like come to your home, I would respect your home. I would knock on the door first, introduce myself, say who I am, and I would say, am I allowed to come in, or am I allowed to do this and that and the third? This is respecting your space. This is called respect. So when you come into another person's home, or you go to a planet, this is respecting the space of the creator, the creator of that, whatever created that. And you have to have permission. You have to, talk, and and when I do stuff, I just do stuff from afar. Some people I'll talk to and establish relationships, and stuff like that. And and this is how actually I figured out that any of this stuff actually existed. I would have never knew this place existed if I didn't really go and sit down. And so the best thing that would be to do is to just talk to people, man. But always, and I'm going to stress this to you so heavily, to always have your guide with you, or someone that you know for a very long time. My guide has been with me for three lifetimes. So I've known my guide for a long time, very long time. Have someone with you that knows how to navigate the plane, and have someone with you that you can trust with your life. Because this is not a game. It is not a joke. You can be taken advantage of. You can be manipulated. You can be captured. Like, you can be taken. Like, this is some serious shit. So, don't go opening Pandora's box. And, yep, I have one guide. And, everyone has a guide, absolutely. Everyone at least has one guide, and everyone at least has one angel. Always. Some people have more than others. It just depends on what you're going through in your life. So when you're born, you get 12 angels for you. He's brutal, huh? Yo, that's so funny. My wife's guide is brutal as fuck, man. Yo, my wife's guide is brutal, man. She be cussing, and she's a trip. But her personality and my wife's personality mesh together very well, because she's brutal too. So that's just like I was telling you guys, man. Like, beings of light aren't always like, like super nice and loving and caring all the time. Like, some of these beings is like real super rude and brutal, and like, they don't really give a damn. So, how can you get over public speaking while being nervous? That's just something you got to do, my dear. It's Casey. Because I used to be nervous about doing it too. Because, I make music. I went out on stage and I rap. That's what I MC. I make music. And I used to go out on stage and, do that stuff. And so I'm not really afraid of it anymore. I used to be afraid of it, but the only way that you can get afraid of over stage fright is what they call it. Is you just got to do it. You just got to get in there and do it and know that, you're not going to die, man. You're going to be straight. You're going to be straight. Saved you from an accident, huh? Yeah, man. It's serious, man. Very serious. 12 angels, yes. Your angels are never out to hurt others, Lily. If you feel that your angels are out to hurt others, then that's not an angel. Yeah, that's definitely not an angel. Angelic beings can't do that. Actually, it's against the law. You're welcome, Miss Casey. No problem. All right, y'all. Well, I gotta be the face of a ghost, or vanish. But I appreciate you all, coming on here, listening to me blabber, shooting out these questions or whatever. I'm gonna start doing this stuff more often so we can communicate. He called me. Wow. Yes, we can regain conscious, Anna. Absolutely. You have always been in contact, Anna. Always. Say someone hurts me, then something happens to that person. This is called karma, Lily. This is called karma, instant karma. So, being that the energies are rising faster, karma rises faster now. So, and I'll let you be the judge for yourself. Let's say you walk past the table or something or the couch. Um, there can be evil entities attached as well. So let's say you walk past a table or a couch and you hit your foot. And what most people do is they focus on the pain. And so what I want you to do is I want you to focus on what you were thinking about before you hit your foot on that couch or that table. And I can guarantee you it's something negative, and that's called instant karma. Guarantee it. Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Absolutely. Evil entities attached are called shadow beings, Lily. Shadow beings. I call them shadow beings. Now, these beings can actually attach themselves to your etheric body. You need to study the auric field to understand the etheric body. They can also attach themselves to your light body, inside of you and outside of you. These negative beings, and they can manipulate the energy of your auric field. So you got to get them out of there. It's called shadow beings. What a shadow being is a being that you can see up the corner of your eye, and when you look, it's gone. These are some of the shadow beings. Sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is a dark entity. Dark entities can pin you down when you sleep. I'm trying to tell you that when you sleep, you go into the astral plane. And these dark entities gain access. I'm trying to tell you this, that when you sleep, you go into the astral plane. When you go into the astral plane, now there's full access. It's just not the light entities and these good entities that have access. You are fully accessed. You need to pull out your swords. When you go up into this plane, this is not a joke, man. I'm telling you, this shit is serious. When you go up into this joint, you need your sword, you need your shield, you need whatever you need to bring with you for battle, because you never know, man. Shit could crack off at any given time. This shit is so very serious. This is why on Black Panther, when they went into the astral plane to visit the ancestors, they crossed their arms across their chest. Because what happens is that you bring the 3 chakras from the top, 3 chakras from the bottom, up into the center where the heart is, and you make a black hole. And this is, you come out of this hole, so you cross your arms so that you don't allow anything in or out of this, we'll call it a wormhole or the Stargate. This is some serious shit here, man. Like, when you go up into this plane, these do not care. Is there a reason why such thing is afraid of my spirit? Yes.